This is Arian Tyson, the Dark Knight from St. Louis, Missouri, representing Slick Town to the fullest. And it's just a gorgeous day here in the STL. It's just a really temperate spring day, although it is June. But I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I'm actually taking a step of faith. This will actually be part of my first video blog that I'm doing. Just trying to, branch out and challenge myself. And I actually want to challenge you all today, and I will be brief. I wanted to talk to you today on this first installment, just really talking about making a decision, the importance of making a decision and standing on that decision. Whether we believe it or not, people are always watching us. They may never say anything to us. They may never approach us out of fear or out of, whatever reason. But the fact is that just when you think someone's not watching you, they really are. And we have to make a decision to really do what's best for us. And sometimes that means going against the grain. Sometimes that means not doing what everyone else is doing. And we see it all the time. We see it on our jobs, we see it in our families, we see it in our relationships, we even see it in business. And the thing is, we need to really understand that just because something is comfortable for someone else, or just because everyone else is doing it, not only does it not make it right, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be comfortable for you to do it. And that's something that I'm coming across. That's something that I'm dealing with, and that's something that I've been seeing happen to several individuals that are close to me, where they want to they're trying to make a decision to do better. But the fact is, number one, they're not using the right verbiage. If you try to do anything, 9 times out of 10, you're going to fail because you're not in it 100%. You're not absolutely sold on it, so to speak. You have to make it up in your mind. Your heart has to be fixed and your mind has to be made up that you are going to do this thing and you're going to be productive at it. And that's what I pretty much did this morning when I said I was going to challenge myself to make a video blog as well as write my own written blog that I normally do. And notice I didn't say I was going to try to do it or I was going to attempt to do it. I said that I will do it, regardless to what the outcome may be. Because the fact is, I have to be willing to get in the game instead of sitting on the bench, to ultimately get better at it. And as I constantly do these, as I do these consistently, I'm going to get better and better at them because that's what the normal flow of things should be. So I ask you today, what decision do you need to make that you're still on the fence about, that you keep shucking and jiving with, that you keep questioning yourself about? Is it because you are afraid of what people may say? Is it because you're afraid of what people may think of you if you make that decision? Well, let me ask you this. How does it feel when you look yourself in the mirror right now, knowing that you're not following what your heart is telling you to do? Now, for those of you who are following your heart, I applaud you, I commend you, and I congratulate you. Keep doing what you're doing because I'm right there with you. But for those of you who are looking at this, who are listening to the sound of my voice, who know you're supposed to be doing more than what you're doing right now, it's not too late for you. The only time it's too late for you is when you take your last breath in your body. Change can start when you make a decision. It doesn't take 6 months to make a decision. It doesn't even take a minute to make a decision. Change can begin. It won't happen overnight, but change can happen in a split second when you decide that you're going to make a decision and not waver on that decision. And I'm not talking about whether it's to join me in Empower Network. I'm talking about in general, because there are too many people that leave stuff undone, whether it's out of shame, whether it's out of embarrassment, whether it's out of potentially being ridiculed. No matter what you do, and listen to me when I say this, because I lived it, and anyone that knows me on a personal level knows this to be true. You can do everything right on paper, and it still turns out wrong. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's in business, whether it's within your finances. You can make a decision. You can put everything on paper. But if you don't have the right mindset, if you go into something having doubts, you don't doubt first, you trust first. Because ultimately, what's going to happen is the decisions that you made, questionable or not, are going to reveal themselves. Everybody's not going to like your decision. But there are only two people that you need to really consider. That's the higher power and the person that you look at in the mirror. Everybody else is secondary. Everybody else is irrelevant from that standpoint. And if they don't love you for making a decision that's best for you, for trying to do things right, for wanting to do things right, for knowing and willing to stand on it to do things right, regardless to how it may be perceived, then shame on them. Because ultimately, you are going to be elevated. You are going to be a blessing to others. You are going to inspire someone to take action instead of settling for the mediocrity that they may be in right now. You're so used to doing everything yourself. And guess what? It's gotten you to where you are right now. But do you still feel like something's missing? Do you still feel like you were put here, you were placed here to do more? Then when are you going to take action? When are you going to be willing to think outside the box, to step outside of your comfort zone, and get yourself out of the way? When are you going to be willing to get out of your own way? There's no time like the present, because tomorrow is not promised. Make a decision, do it now, and support your decision. Even if it means people are going to leave you. People are going to leave you. There's very few people in your life that's going to be in your life all the time. Doesn't mean they don't love you. Doesn't mean they don't care for you. But it means that their season has come to an end. To everything, there's a season and a purpose under the heavens. There's a time and place for everything, even a time to struggle. But struggles are meant to be temporary. Struggles are meant to teach you something. Are you tired of struggling? Are you tired of doing the same thing over and over again, yet foolishly expecting a different result? You have to change your mindset in order for things to really turn around. And they can turn around. For me, they are turning around. Because I'm tired of struggling. I made a conscious decision to not do what everyone else is doing. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made, because it's going to enable me to be a blessing to those that I love, to those that I want to see succeed. And I'm willing to lock arms with those who think the same way as I. I'm surrounding myself with individuals that are challenging me, with a family that's challenging me to do better, to want more, to be thankful for what I have, but to understand that that's not the ultimate goal. My ultimate goals really have nothing to do with me. It's what I can do and what I will do for those who have paved the way for me. Do you know what your why is? I know mine. If you don't know what your why is, contact me, because I'm going to ask you some questions. I want to help you discover what your why is. Your why is something that's bigger than you. It's time for you to find out what it is. It's time to stop playing games. It's time to stop making excuses. And it's really time to get it done. I'll see you on the next installment of this video blog. Peace and love.